cleaning your emotional DNA. So Judy Wilkins-Smith, she is the author of this book, Your Emotional Blueprint.
It could have something to do with your DNA. Judy Wilkins-Smith, an author and motivational speaker.
There are many things we inherit from our parents and grandparents, not only our physical characteristics, but patterns of thoughts, feelings, and behaviors called emotional DNA.
So what we do is we teach you to have a look at the patterns that live in your system, in your family system, and see which ones are limiting you and which ones are helping you. And the ones that are limiting you are generally multi-generational patterns that need to stop. And they're waiting for you to add your own chapter that only you can add.
My God, that is so fascinating. I mean, when you think about just, heredity and things that we share generationally, I mean, there's so much tied into that.
It's great to have you. And, people are really fascinated with ancestry and do all kinds of research. Can we do the same kind of research on our family trees for emotional DNA?
Absolutely, and this is the lovely thing. As you said, Ancestry.com or those kinds of genealogy sites have over 100 million family trees.
What do you think about, like, for example, you see how your mother behaves and you don't want to be like that, so don't you have control over how you behave? If you see an example, or am I not getting it?
Oh, no, you're great.
Okay.
In fact, you would think so, but how often do you say, I open my mouth and out comes my mother?
Oh.
And the reason for that is you're aligned subconsciously with a pattern that says do it this way, and consciously you'd like to do something else.
What's the scientific evidence behind emotional DNA?
Yes, there's a lot of that. There's epigenetics and neuroscience. Epigenetics in particular, there are two studies, or there are lots of studies, but two very big ones. One is the Great Dutch Hunger Winter, but the other one is 9/11. They found out, studying the parents and the mothers and children, that the mothers were passing on PTSD to their unborn children. Wow. Who now sit with the same stimuli as the mother had.
Okay, so what about people that are watching this morning and they're saying to themselves, nope, I'm an emotional person, I take things real seriously, there's no way I could change. What would you say to them?
I would say to them, you know what, you can, and it's this simple. You don't want to eat the whole elephant, right? Because you're just going to get indigestion. But one new thought, one new feeling, one new action, just that, begins to rewire your brain. And we know that the brain is capable of completely rewiring the patterns that sit there. So it's really not difficult. It's literally your first thought, your first feeling, your first action that's just a teeny bit different. And if you're emotional, great. How can you use it to your advantage instead of being reactive? Are these thoughts really mine? Or, as you said, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Kylie, one of the best things to do is to look at your children and ask yourself, if I don't change this, what am I passing on to them?